This is the DTV Digest, the podcast that brings you news and reviews of films which didn't make it to the cinema. And now, here's your host, Mike Parkin.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DTV Digest. I'm your host, Mike Parkin, and joining me this evening are Stephen Lockridge.
Hello.
And Amanda Robertson.
Hello.
This week we have 7 films to discuss. We're going to kick off with The Mortuary Assistant. Then we have the latest Renny Harlin movie, Deep Water. An Icelandic disaster movie called The Fires comes next. And then we have a documentary about the Asylum called Mockbuster. After that, we're off to Ireland for The Morrigan. And then Essex for They Wait in Shadows. And finally, why not a bit of Americana with Tinsman Road. Our short shot is Duped. And our DTV throwback is Into the Blue 2, The Reef. So, without further ado, let's crack on. Our first film, then, is The Mortuary Assistant. Rebecca Owens, a mortuary science graduate, takes a night job at Riverfield's mortuary. What begins as a routine job soon turns sinister as she faces terrifying supernatural forces. So this is apparently an adaptation of a video game, Steve.
Yeah, apparently, yeah.
Could you tell?
Slightly.
From the delivery, that the the hunting for objects, the the stilted exposition. Yeah, it screamed video game. It really.
Yeah.
But what did you make of it?
It was all right. I thought it looked good.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like there was. I know it's kind of like 2 or 3 locations. It's not,
Yeah.
and it's all.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought the actual lighting and the shots look really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just thought the story was a bit,
Yeah.
It was slightly weird with what the actual. I'm going to say the MacGuffin was really. That was a bit different, and it was nice to see that she was like attending Narcotics Anonymous and getting.
I'm going to come
better.
on to something about that in a minute. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, it was just a little bit flat, really. I mean, I thought, is it Willa Ford? I thought she was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Willa Holland, I think it is.
Yeah. Sorry, Willa Holland. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was pretty good. The other guy just kind of reminded me of a Nathan Fillion wannabe, really. It was just a little bit too, not weird, but like you say, yeah, thinking about it now, it does kind of seem like a video game, like what she's being used for, and how it's defeated and stuff like that. It was all right. I like the look of it, but I thought the script could have done with a hell of a lot more polishing.
I'm starting to notice a new trend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I mean, for one thing, this year alone, I've now seen 5 different films, which all feature a female protagonist who wakes up with amnesia. Okay, 5 films, 5 different films, all with that thing. I'm now seeing a trend of films with a female protagonist who is an ex-drug addict or an ex-alcoholic.
Yeah.
That's the way that people are going to doubt what they're saying. When they start seeing things or whatever, there's always a sure, druggy or whatever, I don't know if you've seen the film Whistle yet, which is on Amazon now. It's pretty good, but it does suffer from this same thing.
Yeah.
So it is something I'm going to be looking out for the next 6 months. Is any horror movie with the female protagonist, oh yeah, she's just out of rehab, or she's an alcoholic, or she's on a 12-step program, all of that sort of stuff, as a way of sort of like trying to get people to disbelieve what she's saying about what's going on. But there you go. Um, I did quite like a lot of this, I must admit. I think the makeup effects and everything were really well done. That
Yeah.
opening sequence when she's having to wire the mouth shut of the corpse and all that sort of stuff.
Mm.
And that just sort of, I mean, that was pretty grim, but very well shot. Unfortunately, the one thing that really rubbed me the wrong way was the soundtrack and the score, because
Yeah.
it was incredibly over dramatic, over melodramatic and very loud and bombastic. And I don't
Yeah.
think it didn't
I
fit
mean,
the film really.
no, there was one scene where she's like, it's doing an autopsy or whatever, and it's like a 70s disco beat going on. And I'm
Mm.
like, no, that's
Oh, I didn't
not
mind.
right.
Yeah, there was little bits when she was playing music, her own music, and that was quite interesting because it was like 80s, like electronica kind of stuff. And I thought she's got taste. But the actual score, when it kicks in, is it's just too
Yeah.
bombastic.
Yeah.
It did not fit the film at all, unfortunately. But yeah, I don't play video games much anymore, and I must admit I hadn't come across this one at all. Um, but yeah, the film was semi-decent overall, I think.
Mm.
I don't know. I sort of felt the gamey stuff, and I actually kind of liked the mortuary stuff. It was really well
Mm.
done. There's like obviously things I didn't know that you did. It's not something I've looked into. And it's like very well made as well. The practical effects are really great. But then the demon stuff sort of started happening, and I was like, oh, okay. Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's very much, well, we've been here before kind of thing.
I think overall it's just, I don't know, it's really like gloomy.
Mm-hmm.
Like you think something that's based on a game would at least be interesting and fun, especially if they're doing puzzles, or
Yeah,
annoying, depending on
yeah,
what the puzzle is. But this was just like, sure, kind
yeah.
of
This is
boring, a little bit gloomy. Just yeah, there wasn't
okay.
even any good scares.
No, that is true. Yeah. So good production values is what we're saying. Um, reasonably good characters. It is, it has a few sort of video gamey sort of tropes to it. But once the sort of demony stuff happens, it's kind of like, well, yeah, we've been here God knows how many times. And on that note, how are you going to score it?
I'd probably give it a 5.
I'll give it a 6.
Yeah. That would make it a 5 and 2 sixes for the Mortuary Assistant. Go check it out. Our next film is Deep Water. A group of international passengers en route from Los Angeles to Shanghai are forced to make an emergency landing in a shark-infested waters. Now they must work together in hopes of Now they must work together in hopes to overcome the frenzy of sharks drawn to the wreckage. I'm going to throw this one straight over to you, Amanda. What did you make of Deep Water?
You know what? It's no deep blue sea, but
This is
you know
true.
what? It is pretty good actually. I know it's not the first airplane disaster thing with sharks added in, but it's probably the best of them.
Yeah, because I know
When
you were kind of like dreading this one a little bit, weren't you? When we
yeah,
you go, oh
a
God, here
little
we go.
bit because I don't know, I watch all the shark movies and trying to find a good one is like, oh, some of them
Yeah.
have such good premises and then it's always brought down by just like a real lack of creativity. I know a lot of them don't have money. It's
hmm
fine, but you can have a little bit of fun with it.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
there's one called Shark Bait done by James Nunn,
Yeah,
who
I like that one. That one's fun.
that is fun. Yeah, exactly. You can have fun with that. It has some um entertaining kills, that sort of thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's all bright and breezy and everything. It's great.
Is that one that's in the supermarket? That's fun.
Oh, yeah,
That's a really
the
good
Australian
idea.
one. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
quite good. Yeah, Bait. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, you know, I think shark movies are kind of like a rites of passage
Yeah.
for directors. You know, so you get to a certain level, and it's like, you know, well, if you want to be taken seriously, you've got to have a shark movie under your belt. You know, even Jesse Johnson's got one coming out soon. You know,
Yeah, I'd seen
he's
that
done
as well.
hundreds of films. And in fact, we've got another one called Chum coming out. That's on our list for the next episode, I believe. So this is notable by the presence of Renny Harlin behind the camera, or in the director's chair at least. Stars Aaron Eckhart and Ben Kingsley, who's definitely in his DTV phase now. You know, just keep me working, kind of thing. I'll do anything. That's the kind of level that he's at. You know, plus he gets to sing. You know, he gets to do a bit of crooning at the beginning. Aaron Eckhart, on the other hand, is just a sad sack of shit. Basically, you know, his daughter is terminally ill, I think, or very ill. So he's he's just avoiding her at all costs. You know, taking whatever flights he can. He's also punched out one of his superiors before, which is why he's only co-pilot instead of captain, and having to listen to Ben Kingsley. Oh, that's the other thing. Ben Kingsley's a complete slut in this. You know, just living up to the archetype of airline captain, which is quite amusing. Anyway, there is something very annoying. We've watched quite a few films set on airplanes recently. So
and quite
there's
a few shark films as well.
And shark films are rife. Yeah. We've got a load coming up as well. So anyway, no, I've lost my train of thought. Yes, no, films on airplanes. Films set on airplanes. Okay, so we did Black Box just a few episodes ago, and that suffers from the same thing as this. There's another one I watched, a Chinese one called Wings of Dread with Ika Uwe and somebody else, which is really good. Well, at least the fights are really good. Suffers from the same problem as this, which is the build-up, where the filmmakers think we're interested in all these stupid characters.
Oh,
yeah. You disagree?
No, I know what you're saying, right? But I kind of get where they're coming from.
Oh, I do. Yeah,
you've got to kind of give a shit.
There's got to be some that you're going to go, oh no, I wanted them to survive, and some are going, yes, good, I'm glad he got eaten. Kind of
yes,
thing. Yeah,
yes. And there's one particularly, Angus Sampson, who is an absolute swat in this film.
Yeah.
I mean, good on him. I'm sure he's a really nice bloke, but fuck me, I wanted to kill the bastard myself.
Yeah. It's quite amusing, isn't it? It's because that's the guy from Lincoln Lawyer, isn't it?
Apparently, yeah.
Big guy with a beard.
Yeah.
Just been an absolute cunt in this, basically. That's what it's coming from. Yeah. Yes, he does get. It's funny actually when it happens because everyone just watches and goes, "Good," and just nobody gives a shit at all. It's just really, really funny. But there you go. There's other characters you go, oh, but and there are some decent sort of set pieces in this that we do get a helicopter, where you do get an explosion, all that sort of stuff. That bit was pretty. It was a bit of a rip off of both Jaws and Deep Blue Sea, actually. There you go. No, Jaws 2, sorry, and Deep Blue Sea. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like Renny Harlin's going back doing his greatest hits. With Die Hard 2 and Deep Blue Sea, let's just throw them together and crack on. But I mean, looking at it now, I'm looking at it on IMDb. There's 7 screenwriters on this.
Oh my god! How hard can it be to write this? Really?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not being funny. It is awful. It's not good. I mean, the plane crash is good. I thought that
yeah,
worked well.
and the reasons it's building up to it, what happens, the fact that it's a piece of shit airplane,
Yeah.
on its last legs kind of thing.
Mhm.
And what actually happens is just purely down to wear and tear and technology failure, nothing sinister or ever. It's just,
Well, again, it's not sinister, but again, it's dickhead leaving something in his luggage which he shouldn't do
yeah, exactly.
as well. So not only is an absolute cunt, he's the one who actually causes it, but they don't know that. But yeah, it's just. I mean, don't get me wrong. If it was a bit silly, I won't mind. But once they're in the water, oh, sorry, should I say the green screen tank? It's completely obvious that's what it is. It's not great. It could have been. It could have been a bit of campy fun, but it's not. It's very, very serious. And
You remember that one about the?
tone.
Do you remember that one with Nicolas Cage about the USS Indianapolis?
I didn't watch it, but I do remember it coming out.
It has that sort of same feel of being po-faced.
Yeah,
and you want the silliness of Deep Blue Sea is what you basically what you want that a bit of high camp to it. But you got Aaron Eckhart sort of just grimacing at everything, and but yeah, I mean, it could have used more scenes like the helicopter, and I think there's at least one scene where a shark actually jumps out of the water and lands in the in the raft as well, which is really cool. So it needs more like that for fun.
Yeah.
Bit more creative with what you can do with a shark. Go speak to the Asylum. They know lots of things to do with sharks.
Yeah.
For cheap. But there you go.
And dinosaurs.
Yeah. Anyway, what are you going to score it?
I think I'll give it a 5.
Yeah. I can't disagree. It's not nowhere near a 7.
No.
It's one of these ones which, okay, you've seen it, it's done, kind of thing. It has a bit of novelty value because it is Renny Harlin, and there are some nicely shot bits in there. But you're waiting 50 minutes before the sharks turn up. You got the plane crash, which is great, and then you still got another 50 minutes before anyone starts getting eaten. So if that's what you're waiting for, yes, it's a long haul, basically. Yeah. Anyway, how are you going to score it?
A 5.
Oh, you just said.
Yeah.
Everyone's listening. They go, oh, wait, am I experiencing deja vu? What's going on? Yeah, or am I getting dementia? Right. Yes, 2 5s then for the. I was going to call it Deep Blue Sea. For Deep Water, go check it out. Our next film is The Fires. Anna Arnardóttir, Iceland's top volcanologist, faces 2 disasters at once: a volcanic eruption that threatens the safety of the capital city, and a love affair that could destroy her marriage. I had high hopes for this one, and I must admit, an Icelandic disaster movie. But have you ever seen Shin Godzilla?
Yes.
You know how that seems to be like mostly, okay, Godzilla's on a rampage, but the film is more concerned with all the committees and things, sort of, worrying about how to solve it. That's kind of what we got here for the most part. Is it's more about the the emergency response teams, or not even the response teams. It's like the response committee trying to work out what's going on and what they should do about it. Meanwhile, these different volcanic fields are merging and threatening to destroy Iceland, basically.
Yeah.
So there are some nice shots in it. There's a brilliant eruption in the middle of the ocean, which looks great. And we do get a bit of sort of disaster action towards the end of the film. But this is a lot of talking. This is a lot of people in
Yeah.
tiny meeting rooms discussing what they're going to do, which is a shame. I was hoping a bit more oomph to it. But anyway,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
Same, I was expecting a little bit more, just because there was a little while there where the Nordic stuff they were doing a lot of this.
Hmm.
And some of it is really good. There was one, I don't remember how it happened, but like a tunnel collapse, sort of like that Sylvester
Yep.
Stallone one.
Yeah, that was
I
that
think
was a
it's
good
just
one.
called.
That was literally called The Tunnel.
Yeah, that one's great.
Yeah, there was another
Um,
one where it was about. I think the town was about to be evacuated anyway, but
mhm.
then stuff happened and there was like an earthquake and it was like a huge sinkhole started eating up the town. That was quite good. And then you got
Mhm.
like Raw Utag who did the wave and the quake,
Mhm.
two other Norwegian disaster movies. So yeah, the pedigree is quite high for the
Yeah,
Scandinavian disaster movies. That was what we're
yeah,
saying. Um,
yeah. But I think you're right. It just bogs itself down on the other stuff
hmm,
that you didn't really need. I also think the lead and the photographer guy that she has the affair with, she didn't need to be married. Just let them be.
yeah.
They had good chemistry. They looked good. The whole film looks really great. I was surprised to find out that this is like a feature debut. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
somebody knows how to shoot a movie.
absolutely.
Um, it's just a shame there isn't more action in it.
That's basically what it boils down to. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not it's not a bad movie, but
no,
for for its genre, it's yeah, too much paperwork and not enough action is
yeah.
basically.
I do need
Um,
to say the score is excellent.
hmm,
It's really great. It's
yeah,
again shame it gets bogged down in a lot of paperwork. It would look great
yeah,
if something was exploding behind it.
exactly. Yeah, you know who you need. The guy who did what's that film called? Is it Hellfire? No, it's the guy. It was a Simon West who went to China and did his disaster movie.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, someone like him, he would have really sort of made something of this. But
I
anyway,
mean, it also helps that China just hand out so much money to do this stuff.
true. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
they are big on it.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about Iceland here. That
Yeah,
is rather a sort of small nation, and to produce something as good looking as this is, commendable. But there you go.
exactly.
Right, how are you going to score it?
Probably a 6. Looks
Mhm.
great. There is a lot of enjoyable stuff in it. It just
Yeah,
there could be more.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of my art teacher when I first joined sort of this particular school in the second year, and we were drawing like still life of a chair, and he kept coming around going, "Do more, so make it more bolder, sort of thing." I was like, "Goon, gonna ruin
Okay,
it."
you said
But
copy the chair. Look,
that's it, exactly. But there you go. Right, do we say sixes? Yeah, two
yeah.
sixes for The Fires. Go check it out. Our next film is Mockbuster. A struggling director documents his journey making a mockbuster in 6 days, descending into the chaotic world of low budget filmmaking. Okay, so this is an actual documentary about and the director, Anthony Frith. Um, he was an aspiring filmmaker,
Yeah.
but after leaving film school and everything, basically what he did was he ended up making sort of corporate training videos and that sort of thing. Nothing really exciting, but still was pushing for his dream. And he eventually approached the Asylum, and they kind of went, "Yeah, right, we'll give
Yeah.
you a film to do." Um, and then the true terror of it sort of like unfolds because he's only actually got 6 days to shoot when they actually
Yeah.
get around to it. I don't think they've got a script, have they, until the first day,
Right at the
or
death.
like, you know,
Yeah.
you know, and we get an insider's look at the way the Asylum make their mockbusters, and you know, it was very interesting. I thought I enjoyed Andy Frith as a person. You know, he's very affable and amiable. Um, you know, he goes to see people like Eric Roberts, who's made quite a few Asylum movies. You know, he talks to Michael Parry. In fact, he gets Michael Parry in the film,
Yeah.
which is quite interesting as well. You know, it's interesting sort of seeing these people at work. And it is quite, you know, it is quite amusing. And you do really sort of feel for the guy when things are going wrong. You imagine sort of like having to sort of make you know, film 26 scenes in a day or something ridiculous like that. It's
Yeah.
absolute crazy. And the fact that he's got no money to do it, you know, absolutely ridiculous. What do you make of this one?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. And it's a good peek behind the scenes, really. You know, some of the things you kind of think, well, like when they're coming out of the submarine, yeah. And you're like, well, they're just stood behind a pipe.
Yeah.
And that's what you think. And then it confirms that that's what they're actually doing. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's interesting to look at. I mean, you kind of think it can't be that cheap or they can't do it that way. But no, they do. That is how they do it. I mean, 6 days and like 2 of them days are pushed back because they don't like someone's costume.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, and it's very, you'd think they kind of leave it to it, but it's very, very micromanaged, really, from the Asylum. And, you know, is it like the producing guy who comes out to help out and stuff like that? And then.
Because he's having to film, he's, you know, he's Australian and he's filming it in Australia. And I think that was kind of the appeal to the Asylum themselves, isn't it? It's like they're going, oh, this will be our first Australian shot film sort of thing. So they're quite willing to go with it. But you're right, yeah, they do micromanage it quite a lot. You know, but
and like you said, the Michael Parr bit, that's like reshoots really at the end.
Well, they're sort of blaming him when they go, oh yeah, there's plot holes and things, so, you know, we've got to sort out. And as he says, go, well, there isn't really. It's just that you wanted a star in there, you know, so you had to get Michael Parry basically, you know, to shoot some scenes, some extra bits. But yeah,
and then he has to go to LA to film them, but pay for his own flight.
Yeah, I know. That's so,
you know, it's cheap. Like, come on.
Yeah, they are incredibly cheap. But I mean, the budget. I think what somebody says the budget was between, you know, I think the top end of their budget is like $1 million. That's probably for something like Sharknado 5 or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
But God knows how much he had to work with. But you know, it's interesting seeing all the props being made and you know, the sets being built and that sort of thing. You know, these sort of bargain basement sort of things, but you know, actually done with a bit of care. Yeah, I thought, you know, it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was actually sort of built. You know, because a lot of times watching these Asylum films, you think they've literally found a location and maybe set up a few monitors and stuff. But no, they actually sort of built the whole thing from scratch, which is quite incredible. The other thing is when he's got his director of photography, when they first go out looking for locations, and he sort of finds bits going, oh yeah, we could use this bit. It looks like you're looking over a cliff kind of thing, you know, and all this sort of stuff. He's being very creative, actually, how things will come together. So yeah,
I mean, to be fair, you know, the pair of them, they are pretty talented guys. You know, I mean, well, I mean, not being funny, but they must be if they're getting it done in 6 days. You know, it's it's unbelievable how they plow through it. Really is.
Yeah.
But you know, you get the bits where the tension gets to him, and I think is it the costume woman he has a bit of a argument with.
I think he does at one point, and then there's that whole thing with one of the actors having a go, isn't it?
Yeah,
going, don't you tell me to calm down, you wanker, and all this sort of stuff. But yeah, well, it was interesting to sort of see his transition, because he's sort of saying, at first I just wasn't enjoying it, but by the end of it, I didn't want it to end, kind of thing. That was quite good. But I'm actually just looking at his IMDb page just to see if he has done any more.
I don't think he has at the minute.
Yeah, not yet, but
no,
why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he should do more, basically. But I mean, we've covered quite a few of these sort of films. In the past, we've done Asylum specials where we've sort of done a whole episode on them. Our friend sort of Dave Wayne is a big fan, so yeah. I mean, and they can be quite surprising sometimes. They can be halfway decent. But anyway, yeah. So this was a lot of fun. Just as a glimpse behind the curtain for Asylum and seeing how they operate and maybe sort of having a bit of appreciation for some of these films that they actually got turned around in 6 days. A 90-minute film in 6 days. Oh, that was the other funny thing was they talked to the guys who did Talk to Me, and
Philippines,
yeah, and their reaction when he said, "I've got 6 days," and they're like, "What? You got no chance,"
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, a lot of fun, this one. How are you going to score it?
I'll give it a 7.
Yeah, I agree. 2 7s for Mockbuster. Even if you're not into documentaries, we think this is very entertaining. You should go and check it out. Go check it out. Our next film is The Morrigan. An archaeologist travels to Ireland to uncover a long-dead tomb. A threat is released, and she will have to fight to keep her teenage daughter from falling under the control of the Morrigan, a vengeful pagan war goddess. Okay, then. We were just talking about the Asylum and the sort of budgets they work with, and clearly they've got some good quality camera equipment, sound equipment, that sort of thing. They have a department who do all the CGI effects, etc., etc. This film clearly did not have half of that. But still, there are times where I thought they did pretty well. The cast is interesting. We got Saffron Burrows as Fiona. Then we got James Cosmo in there. Always welcome to see him on screen. Sometimes the script can be a bit clunky in this, but I do have a soft spot for any film to do with archaeology, discovering tombs, discovering weird mythology, that sort of thing, like The Gathering that we covered not so long ago.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of when I watched
sort of thing.
Yeah.
But again, The Gathering had a great set piece within, or at least not a set piece, a setting, within the tomb and everything, the church. This doesn't quite have that, unfortunately. We do have caves and stuff, but it's not quite there. But I was quite impressed towards the end of the film when stuff starts going to shit. And clearly they tried to do things. We had snakes, we had like werewolves or something going on. We had CGI pagan war goddess stuff. It was trying to be interesting at times, but I think it is way too long for what it is. Anyway, what do you make of it?
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, like you say, I thought the effects were quite good near the end and stuff like that, but the overall, it was just, I think it was a bit let down by the script. It was very clunky, very exposition-y, shall we say, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Complete opposite of show, don't tell. You just tell it as it is. But yeah, it was all right. I mean, Saffron Burrows, I can't think of anything I've seen her in ages.
Not since Deep Blue Sea, funny enough.
No. But yeah, it was all right. I mean, I thought it was quite good. I didn't really like this snivelling little kid. Well, but
I know which one you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, But again, there's some shots that looks a bit amateurish. Like there's a death of one character. Well, it's not a character; it's a vision of a death of someone else, and that looks like it came from the 80s. The effects on that were awful; they really were. But the Morrigan itself looked pretty good. The ending was kind of what I expected. To be fair, there weren't really much.
Yeah.
Much else they could do, really.
It was a bit rushed, I think.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah.
But it's something I want to talk about afterwards because I don't want to leave any spoilers.
Yeah.
There is, it highlights the misogynistic attitude of universities when it comes to female academics, for one thing.
Yeah.
The person she's supposedly working for, who is a complete arsehole, possibly being sexually coercing his students and things like that. There is one horrible scene where I say horrible, but not horrific, just horrible, where Saffron Burrows and her daughter turn up at the caves at the beginning, and the arsehole says something like, "Oh, you must be the daughter. We've heard all about you." And she goes, "Oh, only good things, I hope." And they sort of look at each other and they go, "Ha ha 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 ha." It is the worst haha it just seemed so unnatural. It just really stuck out like a sore thumb. But yeah, there was stuff in here definitely to like, I think. And as I say, anything which is going to give me sort of mythology to chew on and things to explore, I'm all for. How are you going to score it?
I'll give it a 6.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, definitely a 6. Again, not quite 7 material. Definitely not as bad as what did we give a 5 to a minute ago?
I'd give it to Deepwater.
Deepwater, that was yeah, it's certainly not that bad.
No.
But there you go. Okay, so 2 5. No, God, I don't have to read it that. 2 6s for the Morrigan. Go check it out. Next up is They Wait in Shadows. 2 sisters returning to their family home after their mother's death, only to do that again. Sorry. 2 sisters return to their family home after their mother's death, only to confront the monsters they accidentally conjured with a Ouija board. Okay, so this may surprise you, Amanda, but this is not the worst film of the week.
No, it's actually not. No.
This is it's a haunted haunted house movie by way of The Only Way is Essex. Is what this is. Now this is interesting. Okay, so Steve and I have covered a film called Mockbuster this week, a documentary about a guy making a film for the Asylum, and what they sort of tend to do is they give them 6 days to film all their scenes. Okay. And that's it. So so they got to film the whole movie within 6 days, and then obviously post-production before the special effects and stuff. The thing is, though, okay, yeah, I'm sure it's very tough getting 6 days with barely any money to do it, but at the end of the day, they've got brilliant equipment.
Yeah.
They've got all the cameras and sound equipment and everything, probably from the Asylum or whatever. They've got it. And they can produce something professional, even if it's cheap. What we have here is the polar opposite of that situation.
Yeah.
They've got barely anything to work with. Some of the scenes are incredibly murky, because they just can't get the lighting right and things like that. They're doing the best with the acting. Some of it is terrible, I must admit. The dad was terrible. but at the end of the day, they're trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's by no means a good movie, but I've said it before. You know, sometimes I think in order to make a movie, you need something of a miracle. Um, so there is that to it, and they do sort of come up with something halfway
Yeah.
reasonable as a result. So what are your thoughts on this one?
You know what? There's a lot of good stuff in it.
Hmm.
Like their animatronics and like makeup and stuff like that. It's actually pretty good looking. It looks a
I
little
agree.
90s.
Yeah, the sort of demon
Yeah.
creature with the big ears and stuff that, you know,
Yeah.
I thought that was actually quite well done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a shame that you said like the lighting doesn't look good. It's a bit murky. I mean, I get
Hmm.
sometimes you want it to be a bit murky.
Hmm.
But if that was just a little better, we could see it because they've put the effort in there. So you want to see it. You want to see what they've done, even if it does look a little campy. Who cares?
Yeah.
Sometimes you really like campy, so sometimes it works. Um, the sisters, I did quite like the sisters. I think they had good chemistry.
Yep.
They worked really
Hmm.
well together. The
Hmm.
dad was not a fan. The thing that just really annoyed me was the fact that it was a Ouija board. I'm like,
Yeah.
could you not come up with
Again. Yeah.
something? We
Exactly.
all know a Ouija board's a toy,
Hmm.
and it's kind of hard to get past The Exorcist
Yeah.
with
And I
that.
mean,
You
it's
know,
that one we
it's
did
like,
the other
yeah,
that one we did a couple of weeks ago where it's like a candle.
yeah.
You
See,
know.
that's quite a good idea.
Yeah. So there is
Because I
something
know there
to
is
it.
witchy stuff with candles,
Hmm.
so why not just, I don't know, find some other witchy stuff.
Yeah, it was a bit on the nose, that element
Yeah.
of it. But
But no, but there's a good movie in there. I think it just
hmm,
tries too much with some stuff and then maybe doesn't do a lot with other stuff. Like I think it maybe went a bit hard in the whole kind of PTSD thing. But I don't think you
yeah.
needed that too much. I think it was already there. You don't need to go so full on with it.
Hmm.
And just let it be a little bit fun and campy.
Yeah, as I said, you know, the parent stuff I think was a bit overwrought.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that sort of muddied the waters a bit, you know.
Mm.
But you're right. Yeah, the chemistry between the two leads is very good, and you know, they get a lot of scenes together which aren't related to the threat and everything. You know, we get to
Mm.
see them as sisters and just sort of hanging out for a bit. You know, eating a bag of chips or whatever down by the seafront. All of
Yeah.
that. You know, it's yeah, it helps. It helps make them seem a bit more alive. You know, a bit more sort of
Yeah.
amiable. So yeah, I agree with that. I just wish, you know, this is one of those occasions where what's in front of the camera. I get this right. You know, so sometimes I say, well, you know, the people behind the camera are obviously doing a professional job as best as they can,
Mm.
but you know, working with a weak script or weak actors or whatever. This one, I think it's the other way around. I think it's the equipment basically which is letting them down
Mm.
to sort of make anything decent. Anyway, what are you going to score it?
Uh, Probably a 5.
A
I think it
five?
needed just yeah,
Yeah,
needed
no,
a
I
little
agree.
more,
Yeah,
probably a little more time and maybe a bit better equipment.
yeah, I agree. You know, maybe a better location as well because I think you know they're making a big thing of like, oh, it's the family home. It's like, well, it's a 2 bedroom, semi-detached house or something. You
Yeah,
know, it is a bit pokey, unfortunately. But then that's probably realistic in itself. You know,
yeah,
and who says that you know the supernatural can't occur? You know, in the middle of a council estate. Well, there you go.
exactly.
Right then. So we're saying 2 5s for They Wait in Shadows. Go check it out. Our next film is Tinsman Road. In the backwoods of New Jersey, a young man navigates the serpentine mystery surrounding his long missing sister and their family home. So, this is a found footage film, basically,
Yeah.
or mockumentary. is what it's sort of purporting to be. And unfortunately, this is a piece of shit. This is trying to emulate directly the style of the Blair Witch Project.
Yep.
Except it's nearly it's not nearly 2 hours long. It's about an hour and 45 minutes.
No, it's 2 hours.
It is 2 hours. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So we're following this guy, basically played by Robbie Banfitch, who's also the director. As he goes to visit his mum, his sister has been gone for a long time. We do not know how long. Just basically disappeared off this road, supposedly. No one knows what happened. There's some kind of spooky stuff going on in the house itself. Where there's a music box which keeps switching on in the middle of the night and annoying everyone. He does a few interviews with some of the locals, and eventually he fucks off into the forest. And it becomes very Blair Witchy, basically. He can't shoot for shit, for a start. He can't seem to hold a camera steady. All we get is foliage and the sound of twigs snapping in the distance while he yells out, "Who's there? Who's there?" a lot. And then we get a weird ending, which I wasn't really following by that point, I must admit. No. It kind of lost me. Yeah, I mean, I get the impression you might share my feelings on this one.
Mate, this is absolute dog shit. I'm sorry, but it's. I don't think there's a script. I think they're just making it up as he's going along. He can't shoot for shit. It's 2 hours. This could have been done in 30 minutes. It should be a short. It's that bad. I mean,
there's so much padding. Yeah,
there's like scenes where his mum gets out of the car and he's filming through the window in the pissing rain. And it's just like the rain running down the car window.
Yeah.
And she stands there for about 20, 30 seconds and just walks in. Why? You don't need that.
No.
What's that giving you? Nothing.
Yeah.
To be fair, it's one of the worst films I've seen this year. There's nothing to it. Nothing to grab your attention. I mean, all this stuff for these two girls he meets down the roads and has like a bit of a smoke with a party or a couple of drinks, whatever. It's not needed. None of it's needed. In fact, the whole film is not needed. It's awful. I wouldn't mind it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not the biggest fan of the Blair Witch, right? I remember we went watching it. The date came out at midnight showing from where I used to work. I nearly got the shit kicked out of me that night because they all went mad at me.
Why were you laughing too much?
No, they all hated it, and I thought, yeah, it's all right. And
all right,
that was shit.
Well, I remember going to see. I went to see it like in broad daylight. It was a Saturday afternoon at the local Odeon in Bristol. There was only a few people in the cinema, and the bit at the end when the guy stood in front of the wall.
Yeah.
Because I've been paying attention to what people were saying earlier in the film, I actually felt my stomach drop. My stomach actually dropped, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
It was really, really well done, and we had a slew of found footage films afterwards, and none of them came close to delivering anything as good as that moment. It took a long time before special effects caught up so that they could be incorporated well into these sort of found footage films. And this is sort of, going, I could do a Blair Witch kind of thing, but there's nothing there,
No.
There's not a lot there at all.
No.
So
and 2 hours. No.
2 hours is an indulgence for this kind of thing. It really is. This should be 70 minutes tops.
Yeah.
Definitely. Right then. I'm expecting something low out of you.
I'm right. I'll give it a 3.
I don't like to go too low,
yeah, but Mike, there's nothing there. I'm sorry, but
it's interesting. You know,
it's not. It's not.
No,
It's far from interesting.
not this. No, just life in general. No.
Yeah.
We've got 3 films this week, which are classed as very low budget. So this one, we've talked about the Morrigan. I'll be talking about They Wait in Shadows with Amanda later, and yeah, I don't, you know, I still believe it takes a bit of a miracle to make a film. Um, and I think that the Mockbuster documentary kind of proves it. You know, if they, you know, but for all the will in the world, okay, he had 6 days to make that film, but he had an army behind him. You know, compared to what these guys have, in terms of sort of production, you know, it's his real mum playing his mum in this, basically. So you know, amateur actors for sure. But yeah, he needed a proper script, yeah, so somewhere for it to go, and no, we would just get repetitive scenes all the way through. The number of times he goes and looks at that bloody music box,
Yeah.
you know, things like that. It's like, you've done this already. You don't need to keep doing it. So yeah, a 3. I'm agreeing with you, basically.
Hey!
Yeah. So 2 3s for Tinsman Road. You know, if you're a completist for, you know, found footage movies, that sort of thing, and bearing in mind, you know, the faux documentary, the mockumentary, is one of my favorite genres. There've been some classic ones this year already, like Man Finds Tape is really, really good. But this, no, you know, it's barely a documentary. It's you know, or a mockumentary, I should say. It's more sort of found footage, and it's bad. 2 3s for Tinsman Road. I suppose I have to say it. Go check it out. Our short shot this week is Duped, a time loop that breaks. In this one, we have a surreal scenario where a phone call about a strange date triggers a mysterious and repetitive phenomenon. Okay, so Amanda, I have to ask, have you ever been on a really dodgy first date?
More than once.
Although I'm not surprised. Just from what I've read online about, you know, women's experiences in this field, I'm kind of not surprised.
Yeah, it's why probably me and a lot of people I know just don't date anymore. It's, yeah, ever since everything went online, it got worse, like way worse.
So, I mean, the first half of this, or the first bit, is this woman coming home talking to a friend on the phone about this date she's just been on, where she's pretty sure the guy had received a message from someone telling them, you know, telling him not to keep stalking them, which, you know, huge red flag if that was, you know, for a start. But there have been so many recorded cases of guys, you know, tracking down people who've jilted them, you know, and all this, or just hounding them online, going, well, you know, I bought you dinner. Why didn't we have sex, or whatever? You know, all this sort of stuff going on, or having a very sort of very different perspective on how things went compared to the other party. So the opening bit of this, when there's like weird shit going on around the house, you know, I must admit, I was very apprehensive about where this was going because I'd forgotten about the time loop bit, basically. So I was quite pleasantly surprised where this ended up. You know, the whole thing where she's sort of like, you know, almost accidentally sort of tormenting herself to begin with, and then we get the whole, you know, different versions of herself sort of walking into the room. I thought it was very, very well done. What did you make of it?
I actually really liked it, but I think it is because of that sort of change at the end, because you are expecting it, you know, something to happen, and then she just has to go through the time loop and then break it, but then it's already broken, so she just keeps seeing herself.
Yeah.
Which I think helped, especially because she's obviously talking about a bad date. You're kind of expecting the worst.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it's sort of like a big relief when you learn that it's maybe her.
Yeah, so you go from sort of like trepidation to bemusement, basically.
Yeah.
It does sort of play with your emotions very nicely. I'm a big fan of this kind of thing. Steve isn't. He doesn't like sort of time travel stuff. But have you seen Beyond the Infinite 2 minutes?
Yeah, I really loved that one.
It's a really good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
so stuff like that. Time Crimes is another one which it does it really well. Retroactive with James Belushi is also a really good one of this sort of time loop thing going on. They're trying to change the results of what's already happened. Very, very good. And and this is just a bit of fun, really. This is what it basically turns into. And eventually she realizes actually, well, she realizes what's going on and storms out, and we're left to wonder, well, what does she figure out?
Yeah.
Basically. Yeah, it's nice and short. It gets a lot done. I think they do a great job of the multiple people. Apparently they just had one stand-in. So it is literally her and a stand-in. And then just some very, very good editing to make it look like there's lots of them. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's a bit insequential, really, but it's quite a nice, fun idea. I mean, looking at it in the credits, I think it was just a stand-in. So it's literally just like the one.
Yeah, but that's all right. Yeah, you do say. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we got a stand-in. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm always a bit funny with time loop stuff. Anyway, I don't know why. I'm not really a big fan of it.
No,
no, I don't know why. It just kind of annoys me, and it just like all they try to do is break out the time loop, and that's it, and then it's over. I don't know why. It just annoys me massively. But yeah, this was quite fun, and I like the like you say, the opening like 3 or 4 minutes where you think it's a stalker or something like that, or someone trying to break into the house, and then you get the mad sci-fi switch up.
I did like the fact that she realized once she gets outside what's actually happening. To a certain extent, then you need other people sort of turning up to really hammer it home. But no, it was I thought it was pretty clever. There's a bit where she goes, I know who's done this to me or something, and then sort of storms out. Everyone else sort of disappears, but then the loop still continues. Which I thought was weird. But yeah, no, I was wondering if maybe the way to solve it would be just to wait outside. And just let it play out, basically. But yeah, no. But it's good though. Yeah, considering some of the shots we've had recently, this is definitely back on track. I think Rich has found us a decent one last.
Yeah.
Awesome. We do not score the throwbacks. Okay, we do not score the shorts, but we do recommend you check them out, and you will find a link to this in the footnotes below. Go check it out. Our DTV throwback this week is Into the Blue 2, The Reef. A pair of professional divers are hired to find Columbus's hidden treasure. Okay, nice and short synopsis, which I think is fine. So the original film starred Paul Walker and Jessica Alba. Must have been a moderate hit for MGM because they did the decent thing of doing a DTV sequel, much in the spirit of what Universal have done with a lot of their franchises and films over the years, like the Sniper series, Scorpion King, Death Race. What's the other one? Hollow Man.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. All DTV goodness, basically. I have a soft spot for this film. Okay, I think it is well shot. I think the soundtrack is awful. I think it's very much of its time, and I think it was sort of aimed at the wrong people. Really, if you listen to the soundtrack of this, it's all sort of party going, rave music and all the rest of it. It's like that's not really what the film is.
Yeah.
They could have done something better there. I think the story is pretty straightforward. Some nice underwater photography. It's it is very slight. It is very DTV, but it's fun. I thought overall. What did you make of it?
It's all right. It is what it is. I mean, the only thing I'd say is it takes far too long to get to what they're actually after, if you know what I mean. Because that's like an hour in where it finally comes to what it is. It also kind of reminded me, the Van Damme one.
No. No.
Well, he
did he do a diving movie? Van Damme?
No, it's not a diving movie, but he plays the baddie or something. And
Enemies Close.
Yeah, and I think that's the one where it gets dropped in a lake or something.
That's right. Yeah, and he wears some weird sort of pancake makeup at the end.
Weird. Yeah, that's that one. That kind of story. Honestly,
it is. Yeah.
In or whatever, but that kind of story. But yeah, it's all right. What has surprised me is if you check out the director.
Yeah, Stephen Herrick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Director of Bill and Ted's
Excellent Adventure. Critters. He's done loads of stuff, and decent stuff as well.
Yeah, I did perk up a bit when I saw the name. Because the thing is, I watched this a long time ago, kind of when it came out on DTV, and the thing that's stuck in my mind ever since then is the fact that not the film itself, but the website Ain't It Cool News.
Yeah.
Harry Knowles, because he laid into this film something rotten. He really did write a really scathing review of it, and I remember reading it, and I think that's the point. I thought, "You're full of shit, Harry. You're absolutely full of shit. There's nothing wrong with this film at all. It's completely harmless. I mean, I was watching it today on my HD, my 4K TV." And it looked great, especially all the underwater stuff, all the little filler bits they do with like all the aquatic stuff. I thought, it looked great. So I had no problem with this. It's a Saturday afternoon film for the most part. It's, it's not going to raise your pulse much, but it's what's the word I'm looking for? It's nice. It's inoffensive.
It's inoffensive. It is what it is. It's just what you're going to get.
Basically, yeah, it's fun. I mean, they've been making these films for quite. I mean, I remember The Deep with was it Nick Nolte in that one? Nick Nolte and Lou Gossett Jr.
Jacqueline Bisset, is it?
Yeah, Jacqueline Bisset. That's what they sold the movie on, wasn't it? It was the poster of her swimming to the surface. Anyway. This, Amanda, is a DTV sequel. I find this quite inoffensive. I think it's relatively fun, decent sort of like light entertainment, a good-looking cast. The stakes aren't massive, and it just sort of gets on with it. And I quite like it. What did you make of it?
Same. I like the third act. I think was probably the best part because it kind of upped the ante. But generally, I thought it was, from what I remember of the first one, it's just the same thing with less famous people at the time.
So the first one had, you had Paul Walker and Jessica Alba, I'm pretty sure somebody gets eaten by a shark in that one, or at least bitten by a shark in the original one. But
So it's such a long time since I've seen it.
I know,
I
yeah,
just
same
remember
here.
it being kind of the same thing
Hmm
as what's going on in this one. I mean, it's I don't know, a bunch of hot people trying to find something. It gets a bit violent in the end, and that's it.
That's basically it. Yeah, it's you could expect as much from a TV movie or an episode of name your favorite police procedural series.
Yeah.
An episode of Magnum or something. Probably cover something to the same extent. But I did like the cast. So you got the likes of Marsha Thomason, who's been in quite a few things. She was in the series White Collar, for example. She was also in an old series with Josh Duhamel called Las Vegas back in the day. I remember watching that. But you also got David Anders, who's the bad guy in this, and he was in the Vampire Diaries, the first series, and quite a few other things as well. But that's always what I remember him from. And of course, director, we got Stephen Herrick, who did Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. So yeah, a reasonable pedigree overall.
Yeah, it's not awful. It's not a bad follow up. It got what the first one was doing and just redid it.
Basically, yeah. The other thing, I'm sure the cast and crew had a blast making this.
Oh, probably.
Overall,
scuba diving and going to the beach.
Go scuba diving in Hawaii for however many weeks.
Yeah,
they did. Yeah, I'm sure it must have been terrible for them all.
God love them.
And that is the end of this week's show. So thanks, Amanda, for joining me to cover these.
All good, as always.
Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Blue Sky and Instagram. We've dropped Twitter now. And also look out for the next Short Shots podcast, where Rich and I will be looking at some horror short films that we'll be recording very soon. Thank you for listening. Tune in next time.
Thank you for listening to the DTV Digest. Let us know your thoughts in the comments and tune in again next time.